Okay, so today I'm going to explain how to deploy some weapons and also how to find some targets. Might not be the most in-depth thing, but it will get you started. First things first, we started in my training map, spawned in the air, so we're going to make sure that the aircraft is set up for what we need it to do. Hit resume, we're in autopilot, auto throttle control mode. We're going to go to air to ground, master arm is on, and we'll pull up the HSI page. And we'll pull up FLIR on the left. Now, I have a bunch of training targets down here at this airfield. My waypoint 1 is on that airfield. If I were to hit waypoint, it shows me that in my HUD. Or if I hit weapon designate, it'll move my sensors to it. But what if you didn't have that? My waypoint 2 is the same waypoint but 20,000 feet in the air. If I hit data, you see that it's up in the air. Well, if your mission designer did that on purpose or by accident, you can fix that by hitting the UFC button, clicking elevation, feet or meters, doesn't matter, type in 1, and there you go. You go back to HSI, you can cycle through and hit weapon designate, and now it's on the ground. Well, let's say you didn't have that. Let's turn on the weapon HUD and hit undesignate. So now nothing's selected. If we do our sensory control switch up, we can see that there's a little dot now in our velocity vector. And because we are in master arm and air to ground, we have this reticle. So if I just look over there and hit TDCD press, it made a mark. And there we go. And now I can sensory control switch left to my FLIR, move it around, and the smart thing would be to create a mark point. That way we can't lose it. And there we go. I actually should probably hit TDCD press first and then the mark point button just to make sure that it selects it. And then of course under the data tab you can type all these coordinates in manually, and there are some really good tutorials out there, especially Red Kite, so follow him. Since we have that out of the way, we're going to switch over to the SA page. And we do have some threats down there, so we gotta take those out first. I'm gonna go waypoint 1, weapon designate, and now we're gonna get to a position where we can attack on those. I'm gonna go to our stores page and warm up the Mavericks. Click it again, you can see if there's a timer. Looks like we're all warmed up though. Do FLIR on the right, SA on the bottom. I'm going to turn into it. Just take our time. Now it's important to note that the FOV button, if you have MAVs up, only works on the MAVs no matter what you have selected. And right now I have the right side selected, the FLIR, and I still can't FOV that. So just gotta keep that in mind. So we'll put it on autopilot again. And we'll see, since I know this map, there's my SA8. So I'll TDCD press, and that means I am tracking it. There's some other, Red Kite has also made detailed tutorials about this, so make sure to watch everything there is to know about these pods. So now we have this marker up here that tells us what degrees to turn to. So we are going to get off autopilot, we'll leave auto throttle on, and we'll just come around. Our MAV timer is going to count down. Here's the thing, if you get a lock with your MAV, a MAV can fire from about 10 miles out and hit its target real easy. So you don't always have to wait for that timer to be completely down. So what I do is sensory control switch left. That automatically uncages it, but I can manually cage and uncage with that button. I'll do the FOV switch to zoom in. And now we just wait till we're in range. I'll tilt the nose down a little bit, just to get us there a little faster. And we got the cross closed. So even though we're 20 seconds out, I still got a lock and I'm firing. And before that SA8, we're in their range. We're gonna break off. So put it on autopilot. We'll watch that missile come in. Perfect. So just because it says that you need to wait that time, as long as it's not boxed like this, I mean crossed, you can fire it. You just gotta know your weapon system, and that's from my A10 days of learning how to shoot them at maximum range. We've got another SAM threat right here, so we're gonna go ahead and turn around and same thing on that. So aim on it, key to CD press, get off autopilot with the disconnect button, swing it around, and we'll do it again. I'm just following my HUD indications to let me know when I'm lined up. Got that arrow pointing. Almost there. And now I can see the runway and just about lined up. So we're 12 miles out the target. We can probably fire around 10. Sensory control switch left. Uncage it. Narrow field of view. And wait till we got a good lock on it. Actually looks like we have it now. And then rifle. And we'll come off again. Very gently. Put the autopilot back on. Boom. Perfect. We'll level ourselves off. And we'll switch over to GPS guided. Now as the timer counts down, it'll start getting to a point where we can use it. 7 minutes, 30 seconds is when we can use it. And with this, it's going to be the same thing as the Mavericks. You just get yourself a waypoint, or you get yourself a designated spot on your FLIR, and you drop the bomb. It's pretty simple. We're going to put ourselves in a bit of a circle here. Attitude hold, and we'll speed this up. That way we can use this bomb. Counting down almost to 7:30. Perfect. So in pre-plan mode, you can drop on a waypoint, but we're going to use target of opportunity mode. It's the easiest mode to use. E-fuse to instant, and that's it. We only have the one station of 2 bombs. So the way this works is we need a target. So we'll try to come around like we are and then level out so we can pick something to shoot at or drop a bomb on.
get off autopilot and just pull a little harder than we're doing now. Alright, autopilot. And just real quick, we killed that SA8, but there's still a ring on there. That's because this isn't live. This is like a mission planning. Somebody put that marker there for you. So it'll never be a live feed. Alright, so it looks like we got another SAM site right there. So we need a good waypoint on it, as close as we can get. TDCD press. And now we're good to go. We can go in the JDAM's display, the mission tab, and there's our coordinates. So if I was to slew all the way over here and hit TDCD press, it just updated. Oh, we will go back, depress, and now we're good to go. We can see that we got the timer that we're going to be dropping. Hold on, we need to back to stores, mode, defuse, good. So now we're going to turn towards the target. I'm actually going to take auto throttle control off, bump up the speed and climb because I want to make sure that I'm out of range of that IR SAM when I drop this bomb. You see the timer count down a lot faster because now we're getting closer to the acceptable range. So with the JDAM, it's all GPS guided, so all you have to do is get to where it says you can release it and just let it go, just hit the weapon release. So now we're in the zone. Now I'm gonna hit the pickle button, which is weapon release, and I just dropped it. So now we can get back in our autopilot circle here. Now what I'll probably do is straighten out and go out over the water, and we'll follow the bomb in like we normally do. Turn the attitude hit, hold on. And there we go, so we'll speed that up. One thing to remember is when you're picking the coordinates, just because you hover your FLIR on it, like you're hovering on a vehicle, it's not going to see there's a vehicle there, it's going to see ground point behind it. So you got to keep that in mind. I know a trick back in when I was flying the A10C is you used to be able to laze the target and create a mark point at the target. I've tried that in this, and I have been unsuccessful. So I don't know if you can do it or not. So we'll drop the other one real quick. We'll just make a left-hand turn so we can get eyes on target through the FLIR. Break that autopilot hold. Come around. Alright, level her out. Throw that autopilot back on. And it looks like we got a little bit of a checkpoint here, so that seems like another good spot for a bomb. Lock that up, and let's bring it on in. Get rid of autopilot. Line it up. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's GPS guided, just as long as you're good enough.
Alright, pickle. Drop that off. The autopilot back on. Now we'll switch over to the laser guided bombs. And this is a little more in depth, nothing too crazy. The one thing you need to do is put your laser code in. Over here is the laser code that you have. Now if you use 1688 in an online server, good chance that any JTAG on the map is using that, or any other player flight. So what you need to do is click on that, and you need to have your laser switch in the arm position. So this is laser search track. This is if you were tracking and searching for a laser. This is your laser designator. So we're going to type in some freedom, 1776. That's our laser code. And then we're going to put the laser code for the bomb by clicking code here. Same thing. Now they match. Now when I fire my laser, my bomb will be looking for my laser. We'll do automatic drop, instant, and we are good to go. Sure, already coming back lined up, it's pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll get out of autopilot here. Pick a target, which will be this tank. Put that over there, depress. Now what I gotta do is line up as best I can the steering line and wait for the timer. The thing about laser guided bombs is with this mode you're going to be over the target when you drop. We're a little out of trim, so I'm trying to fix that. Now when it gets down to about 5 seconds, just hold the weapon release button. Holding it now, and when it hits 0, it'll drop. Once we come to the right, there's more SAM threats. Now, because I turned my laser on, that's why we got this timer. It's going to start lasing in 10 seconds. And now we have the time to impact 9 seconds. Boom. What we'll do is we'll pick the one next to it. Now here's the thing to remember, this is a spring-loaded switch. It'll always go back to safe. Now I have a HOTAS control that'll keep it armed at all times, so I can't forget. But make sure that every time you're about to drop a bomb that this thing is armed. Okay. Another option is to manually lase it. And this trigger button makes your trigger fire the laser. Okay. So we'll do that next. And since this is on the same rack, everything is still set up properly. So we'll circle around. Hold kind of hard and be aggressive. Just make sure you hold your altitude. Alright, so we aimed at the tank, TDCD press, and now we'll fly back over the target. And now if I hold the trigger button, I'm lasing that target. So, heck, we can even just go ahead and put on autopilot, gently steer it in. Actually, I'm going to take that off. It's easier for me just to hold it center. So we're about 13 seconds. Once again, when it gets down to like 5 seconds, just hold the weapon release. Holding it. The weapon has released. And actually, since I have an arm, it's going to fire the laser for me. But I can hold the trigger and laser it myself. And actually, I may have messed this up here because I fired the laser before it wanted me to. Sometimes that can make laser guided inaccurate, but we'll see. Nah, still work. As simple as that. So we've deployed all of our weapons on the target. It's an awesome skin by Ban Animal on the ED forums. So we're good there. And in my training mission, I actually have DSMC installed. So I'm going to save my mission. And now everything that I destroyed in my part 2 video, if there is a part 2 video, will still be destroyed. And we can pick it up from where we left off. But just to give you a quick idea of the damage down here. Thanks for watching.